most people. I don't know. We just play football. If you're not coming with it to win, then you're going to get your ass whooped. Like, you really not.
Hey, welcome back. Another episode.
What's up, Mike? Hey, are you prepared?
I better be.
Because if not, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Hey,
like Kirby Joseph said.
Hey, he wasn't talking about Lions. He was actually talking about our show.
Our show?
Hey, if we're not prepared, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're prepared. We got plenty of notes over here and plenty to talk about finally. We're back.
We're back. It's been a minute. That's okay. We had a lot of things going on.
Yep.
But we are back. But what a way to come into the show with Kirby Joseph. I mean, it's so true. Because I'm going to get this out of the way right now. Okay? We're talking about professional football.
Yeah.
Okay? This isn't Pee Wee. This isn't Pop Warner. This isn't high school. This isn't Michigan playing some cupcake school. This is pros. These guys are making millions of dollars. And you're butthurt because they're running up the score. They're trying to embarrass us. No. Stop us.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, like that being brought up in an NFL, like with players or the game. Like that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Stop us. You don't want us to put up 52 points and blow you out by 46. Stop us.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you one team that's got their head down, they're on the gas, and the other team is like, dude, just get this season over with. Unfortunately, football is a freaking crazy game. You can't do that. You really can't just give up in football.
I mean, 2 games, over 50 points, and in the game against Dallas, we put up, 47?
We've scored 40 plus 4 times this year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
4 times. Almost 53 times. I mean, like, the Cowboys, 47-9 was that game?
We're the Lions right now, I saw today, we have a plus 159 point differential.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Plus, we're 336-4 and 177 against us, which is tops everybody in the league.
Yep. The next team, I think, is like Buffalo. And they're like their point differential, I think, is 106.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And Buffalo's really good too.
We're beating up on teams. They're calling us bullies. I don't think we're bullies. I think we're Campbell. He's just not letting off the gas.
No,
he's putting his foot down, and we're just going.
Yep.
Stop us. That's all I gotta say. If you don't want us to beat you that bad, then stop us. The Jaguars quit.
Yeah, they quit. Yep.
They quit right away.
Just
like the first half was done.
The Titans did. The Cowboys did. Yeah. So. Whatever. If you're gonna quit, then Kirby Joseph's gonna let you know.
Can you imagine being a defensive coordinator for any team coming to play the Lions? How do you plan for us?
You know what's funny?
You know there's going to be a trick play.
Yeah.
And even when you think it's going to be a trick play, it's not a trick play, or it is. We don't know. We run all kinds of plays.
The thing, you know what's funny? That this topic came up on 97.1, and it got me thinking too. It's like, okay, how do you stop the Lions' offense? I think the only way to do it is the other team's offense needs to stay on the field to keep the Lions' offense off the field.
Yeah, but then you got BB and Joseph picking things off all the time.
I know.
Or blocking passes. They can't stay on the field.
No.
Their defense is getting them right back off.
That's it. And the Lions are, what are they? I know they're top 5 in rush yards, opponent rush yards per game. So, like, if you want to control the clock, you need to run the ball. Well, the Lions do a really good job of that.
Okay, well, you can't run on us.
Yep.
All right.
And so obviously you can't throw on us right now either, unless you're from the 20s to the 20. You can get your yards, but once we get inside the red zone, I mean, we have a very good chance we're gonna create a turnover.
Yeah, or you're just gonna settle for 3 points.
That's it too. Yeah, for sure.
Or you're gonna settle for 3. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yep.
It's nice. I like it's so weird being on this side of the fence, right?
I know. It's one of those situations I don't know what to do with my hands because I really don't.
I mean, you look in the past and we'd watch games, Lions would be getting blown out, and you're like, well, this sucks, right?
Yeah.
Then you'd watch another game of 2 other teams, and you're like, oh, it's a blowout. That's not really fun to watch. It's fun watching a blowout game when it's your team.
God, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You get to the 4th quarter, you're like, all right, we could go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Go ahead and wrap this up. I mean, Jaguars probably had the plane already warmed up. They quit halfway through the game. Probably didn't even shower afterwards. Straight to the plane.
I stopped watching on Sunday, and for the opposite reasons usually. I mean, usually I'm stopping watching because they're getting their ass kicked, but they're actually doing the ass kicking this time.
Yeah, you can get outside and get some yard work done a little quicker.
I did. It was
now.
nice. It was nice, but it's also nice, having a good football team too. So
it's been fun. But in no way do I think we're bullies.
No,
we're a hard-hitting defense. That's the other thing I heard the other day because they were showing the Amik hit, the Brian Branch hit, the Kirby Joseph hit, where they just nailed those guys and laid them out, and they're like, those were clean football plays.
Yeah. I mean, that's another
we're gonna punch you right in the mouth.
That's another thing with this defense too. Is having Branch and Kirby Joseph. Like if you're gonna come over the middle, like you got to account for those two guys. You know what I mean? And not to mention that they can both go out and make spectacular plays too.
We're gonna be right there.
Yep.
They're gonna be right there waiting for you.
Yep. Yeah, they the defense is much better, and it's because of the pass defenses has really improved too.
Which I'm happy about because at the beginning of the season, I knew our secondary had gotten better.
But you weren't sure how much?
I wasn't sure how much, and I feel like the first couple weeks I was like, oh, it doesn't really look like we're doing that we haven't improved that much. And maybe it's just Brian Branch's first year at safety, right? I think that had to do it. They're starting to click. You did bring in Carlton Davis and Omik, so those guys have to kind of, start gelling with each other again, like, a couple new players. And I think it's showing now.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was worried Hutch went down. That, oh, great, there goes the secondary. I was one of them. I was like, now we're going to be exposed even more than –
Yeah.
But it's gone the opposite way.
Yeah.
They've completely stepped up and handled – and like you said, the offense needs to stay out there for the other team, but we're just not letting them.
Right. And you know what? It's not like this team has not played good teams or has just played bad teams because they went into Arizona and beaten Arizona. They went into Minnesota and beat them. They beat Green Bay in their old building when it was freaking torrential rains – suitable for a Green Bay style team.
Yeah.
We went in there and punched them right in the mouth at their own game.
Yeah. Did you hear Goff after that game when he was like, oh, we're a dome team. We can only win in domes. We can't handle the weather. And we kicked their ass that game. Yeah, it was only a 10-point, but we were up 24-3.
Yeah, they had Green Bay had a garbage touchdown late, and I think it wasn't it due to a call or something like that happened in the game. I don't remember exactly what happened, but and then to go on and come back at Houston. I had a lot of those games picked as losses at the beginning of the year, and here we sit 9-1. And honestly, what are they gonna? How many games are they gonna lose the rest of the year?
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule. Who's gonna be the team that beats us? Besides it being some off the wall team like the Colts or the Bears. Yeah. That a team that you don't expect to beat you comes in and you have a bad day, right? Because that happens. It's the NFL. But who else? I mean, the next big game that we have is probably Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo. And,
I know we have Green Bay again, and that's no matter how good or bad Green Bay is, it's always a tough match between the two teams.
Yeah. If I had to guess, it wouldn't surprise me if we lose the Buffalo game, and it wouldn't surprise me if we lose at Chicago. But I think that's max. So that's 14-3.
Yeah, but I was thinking the same thing about Chicago. I thought we were gonna get a loss to Chicago, but man, they look bad. They are really bad the last couple weeks.
Yeah, they're
making me change my whole thought process.
Yeah,
I had us losing to the 49ers. I'm not worried about the 49ers. The Bills is gonna be a great game. I mean, you're talking potential Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, I 100% think so. Especially after what Buffalo did last weekend against handing KC their first off. Josh Allen is just balling right now.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a stud. He's a stud. Oh, I do have I found this out. I got a fun fact for us. It's about the Lions and Bills. I didn't know this. So when the Lions started, the Bills, the original Bills owner, I don't know if it's still the same owner or not. I didn't dive that deep. But the original, he was co-owners with the original owner of the Lions.
Okay.
And he wanted to start his own team.
Okay.
And the league wouldn't let him. So he went and started Buffalo in the AFL before the two leagues joined together.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't even think about it. If you look at both emblems, they're not identical, but they resemble each other with the way, like, the leaping lion, the leaping buffalo.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, there was something I think it was on Facebook or something I was scrolling across, and because it was talking about potential matchup, and then it went into this whole thing how the Bills' original owner was co-owner of the Lions, wanted his own team.
Interesting.
They wouldn't let him, so he started the Bills. And now every time I see that logo, I'm like, oh, my God, it is just like our logo.
Well, even take it back to the first Buffalo Bills logo. It's kind of like that Bubbles. The Buffalo, you know what I mean? Like the O.J. Simpson helmet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Bubbles look. And then you look at the
original
original
line. And he's like leaping
line.
or running through, just kind of like how ours is. Yeah.
That's wow. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. So, there. Fun fact. Everybody learned something today.
Yep. All right. Look at us.
Look at that.
School time in session. Well, all right, let me ask you this real quick. I mean, is this – we all know the history of the Lions. We don't need to really go into that. But is this like – is this team playing right now like it's a team of destiny? Don't you? Doesn't it kind of have that?
I mean,
feeling.
Again, we're not used to this, and they're overcoming all the adversity, right? Hutch goes down. Don't even
Doesn't
skip
matter.
a beat.
We lose Anzalone too. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell is going to step up now.
Yep.
I really think so. I mean, we're beating up on teams, right? We have a booming offense. Goff is playing the best year of his career.
Yep.
All the way down to the coaches, our offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, everybody's playing, coaching amazing. I think we are a team of destiny, right? I mean, still a lot of football left to play, but the way they're playing, they're not squeaking out games.
Yeah.
I mean, these games are over in the first half.
Well, it just seems like there's like a relentless pursuit with them too, and there's just never ever like a moment where they have mistakes and stuff like that, but it just never ever really seems to.
I mean, no game's going to be perfect.
Yeah, and they have their mistakes, but it doesn't seem like they allow the mistakes anymore to define them. Like the mistake happens, but then they kind of counterpunch when that mistake happens instead of just kind of loathing in it.
Right, yeah. We throw a pick or lose a fumble or something like that. Well, we stop it and make them go 3 and out when they get the ball, right?
Yep.
Well, one of my favorite parts, because talking about this, how the Lions, they don't quit. They're always full steam ahead, was, okay, against the Jaguars. Okay, first of all, Mac Jones, I don't know how you're an NFL quarterback. He overthrew everybody by like 6 to 10 yards.
Did he?
I mean, it wasn't even close when he's throwing down the field. Then, the end of the game, we're up by 40 points, high 30s, 40 points, something like that. Finally throws it, hits the guy right in the basket, and Campbell challenges the play.
Oh, they were talking about this on 97.1 too.
Campbell challenges the play. Goes, nah, like, can we give him that one? He's like, no, he didn't catch it. Rules are rules. I just thought it was so funny. Like, we're up. Like, that catch doesn't matter. It wasn't going to change the game in any way. And Campbell's like, no, I don't care if we're up 40 points.
No, man. Come on.
Come on, man.
Come
You
on,
see
man.
that? You got to catch the ball, man.
Yeah, come on.
I love
see,
it.
man? I'm going to stick my dogs on you, man.
But that's something I love about this team. They don't quit. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
I don't care if we're up 40 points. You didn't
Yep.
catch the ball. We're not going to let you get away with it.
Right. Yeah.
Mac
You better bring
Jones.
it if you're going to come play the Lions.
All right, so we got to bring up this just because this kind of stirred up the whole city this week. Was that Nick Wright from First Things First on whatever channel it is had some pretty unique things to say about our team and Jared Goff, calling him a civilian.
What the hell does that even mean? Civilian? Like what?
He's not a superhero quarterback.
Like what the?
So, okay, here.
Everybody just gets so fascinated by making labels, and it's just all bullshit.
Well, and so I started thinking about it, and I went back and I reread everything that he said, and we watched what he said. And the issue that I have with this is, well, first, I won't disagree with him that Goff is not a superhero quarterback. Okay, despite the season he's having, which is awesome, right? Probably his greatest of his career. He's not a Josh Allen, right? He's not a Lamar Jackson, right? A Mahomes, right? I'll give him that much.
He's got a better playoff record than Lamar Jackson, I think.
But at the same time, he may not be our superhero, but we have 3 or 4 other superheroes on the team. Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Penny, right?
Hutch. Well, yeah.
Right, yeah. Hutch, right? Brian Branch is looking like he's turned into be one of the best safeties in the league. Kirby Joseph, like, okay, sure, Goff on paper is not going to be, the top quarterback that everybody's going to want. So how dare you come out and say that about us? And then the other thing that it leads into, because he made a comment about, Stafford, right? It was in the same topic, talking about, Stafford coming back.
Comparing
him. I'm like, you know what? Look, I was never a huge Stafford fan when he was here. Enough is enough with these what ifs. Can we please focus on the right nows? We're not the bad team that we used to be. Okay, those times are done. We're here. When Stafford was here, he didn't have the weapons, but he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why we can't win. No weapons. Goff comes in, not a great quarterback, but he has the weapons. What do you guys want? I mean, it's you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
The thing is, with the Lions, I think it's hard to poke holes. You always want to be able to poke holes in your team, especially the elite teams, so that you can kind of justify why they whatever. And the only thing with the Lions is that there's not a lot of room for hole poking. And I think the only time you kind of can is the Houston game where he did throw 5 picks. I would argue not like some of those were not his fault. A couple of those, the one he threw to JMO, JMO kind of gave up on those plays.
Well, 2 of them didn't even matter. One was at the last
One was
second
a Hail
of the
Mary.
half. Yeah.
I'm not going to call that. Okay, so 4. And then
2
honestly,
were tipped.
2, yes. One was tipped at the, 2 of them were tipped. You're
Yeah.
right. And then the other 2 were deep balls to JMO, where JMO kind of lost the ball or whatever. So, and look, Goff will have stretches where he does look very subpar, but he usually corrects that pretty quickly, and it's usually in parallel with losing an O lineman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I was going to play devil's advocate, as far as not sticking up for Goff, it would be that, okay, if he doesn't have his O line intact, especially Ragnow, actually, it's really the 2 guys on the outside, Sewell or Decker, because Sewell had to switch places against Houston, and then Sewell was getting beat, and then Skipper's on the other side. You know what I mean? But they still seem to figure it out. And Goff ended up having other than the 5 picks, he did play much better that game, and he's been absolutely lights. I mean, what is his completion percentages here? 73%.
I have that right here.
So
yeah, because if we want to go by the numbers, I got all the top quarterbacks, and he's at 73%.
And I don't get it. Is it, you know what? I think it's only because, for one, he got ran out of L.A. because I don't know if it just they just butted heads or whatever, and he's not mobile. He's not this guy who can kind of run around like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. He's not athletic, but as far as his arm accuracy, his arm talent, it's way above average.
Another thing that gets me is why are we only just talking about the quarterbacks, right? Okay, we get it. We understand. Listen, I love Goff, and Goff we trust, right? He's here. He's our quarterback, right? We understand he's not the best quarterback out there. But why is it the conversation always come down to your quarterback?
Yeah.
What about us? Kind of reminding me of the 04 Pistons. This is a team. When Goff has a bad game, Sonic and Knuckles come in and step up and take over the run game for him, right?
Yeah.
Or all Goff has to do is just get a little 4-yard pass to St. Brown and let him go do his thing.
Yeah.
Right? Give it to end around to JMO. We don't even need you to throw the ball anymore, Goff. Just give it to these guys within 5 yards, and they're gone. They're going to go do their thing. So there's they can't win a Super Bowl because Goff's not an elite quarterback. Have you seen the rest of the team?
Yeah.
Have you seen our defense? We can't even, the other teams can't score. We've gone 6 quarters now, giving up 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Don't come at the whole Goff thing. We understand, okay? Yeah, he's not the best in the league, but he's still the best for us right now.
Yeah.
Okay? And we're going to go a long way with him.
The one thing I've noticed from Goff this year, compared to other years, is that his pocket presence this year seems to be much better. And he has been able to pick up a few first downs more than he usually would with his
them
feet.
Cement shoes on.
Yeah, right? Seriously. But, I mean, I feel like he's been manipulating the pocket better than I've ever seen him play. And I don't know what it is.
He's the smartest guy out there on the field when
he controls the offense. Yeah. He's got command of the offense. And that's underappreciated, that aspect of the game. I don't know. I think these guys, they just talk out of their ass, and it's just you know what I mean?
The only difference between them and us is they're getting paid to be on TV because we're just giving our opinions. You could call me a dumbass for saying the stuff I have, and none of this, I'm just out here giving my opinion. It's no different than that guy.
For all the audience knows, we could be talking out of our ass too. They can't see us.
Right, yeah, that's true. So I'm not mad at Nick Wright for what he said. I just don't think that. I think there was more that he needed to add. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, not arguing with you about God, but what about the rest of the team?
Yeah.
Right? Don't say that they don't have that they can't win a Super Bowl when we have a top 3 receiver in the league. We have the best running back duel in the league.
Best O-line.
So you want to say something? You want to say something negative about us? How about also talk about the positives? We're 9-1. We're the best team in the NFL right now, hands down. There's no arguing that.
It's close.
On paper, by points, however you want to look at it, we are the best team.
Yep. Yeah, I don't get it. I just, like I said, I don't think they know how to poke holes in this team, and that's the only thing they can do because the roster is so complete. There's really no weaknesses on this team. Even Jared Goff, Jared Goff is a borderline quarterback, or if not a borderline Pro Bowl quarter. Hold on.
Yeah.
He's a Pro Bowl quarterback, if not a borderline Pro Bowl quarterback. That's all you need. If you have a good team around you, you can get by with that. He's got a winning playoff record. He was great in the playoffs last year. You know what I mean? Even in the San Fran game, he was good.
He has the weapons. Let's acknowledge that.
He can get it done. Can he get it done? He can get it done.
Yeah.
That's all we care about.
To end my rant on all this because that it kind of pissed me off this week hearing that, and I get people are we're at the top now, so we're gonna get dogged a little bit, and that's fine. Bring it, right?
Oh yeah, this team responds.
But I'm just tired of the what ifs. I'm tired of the what if this happens? What if that? How about we focus on the right now, right?
Yeah.
Because right now we're a great team. Golf is great right now. The team is great. The coaching is great. Let's quit with the what ifs and just focus on the right now. Yeah. And right now, we're beating teams' asses.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Right?
And all that does, hearing these comments, all it does is fuel this team even more.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And one thing I've loved about this team, too, like if you watch the HBO, what was it? The Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Like, they don't shy away from, like, Campbell was like, hey, who was it? Like, hey, read that back wall. Last playoff win.
Yeah.
How many playoff Super Bowl wins? How, this and that. And Campbell's just like sitting. He's like, I want you all to marinate in this.
Yeah, because he's here to change history. He's here to change the culture of what this team had.
Yeah.
I was listening to some sports talk today, and it just went right along with what I wanted to bring up. They're already talking about, well, next year we might lose Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. And I was like, stop with the what ifs. Let's finish this season. If they leave next year, fine. We'll deal with that next year.
Yeah.
Okay? Right now, quit with the what ifs.
I know.
Right now, we're in it. Let's enjoy this. We've never, ever had this as Lions. Well, unless it's 1935.
Yep.
Okay? When they won the championship. Okay? We've never had this.
No.
Let's enjoy it. Forget the what ifs. Let's focus on right now.
Right. We just got to get that first one. That's it. That's all we care about, getting this first one. If we do lose Glenn, if we do lose Ben Johnson, whatever, there's other guys out there that can come in.
We'll deal with that when that happens. Because right now we're in a Super Bowl run.
Yes.
Let's enjoy that.
The window's wide open.
And
right
I think
now.
maybe part of it I was like this at the beginning of the season. You're always like, okay, I got to see it. They got to prove it to me, because we've been stuck in our ways of just a horrible team for so long to now have this. And I think so many people are just so used to at this point of the season, like, well, who are we drafting? What are we going for?
Yeah.
What coach do we need to look at next year? Right.
Yep.
So I think maybe just some people still aren't
with it.
Yeah. And they're always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, even if the other shoe drops, let's let it happen. Right. Let's go right now. Let's focus
present.
on what's happening.
Yeah, I think
I don't care about next year.
Yeah,
I don't care about last year.
I think we should be really grateful. Speaking of Thanksgiving, we should be really thankful for the fact that how well put together this roster and this team, and like how well they represent the city. Like, you really don't see like these guys, like they just go out and battle, and then you got guys off the field like St. Brown and Sewell, and just being good guys. David Montgomery's a great guy. You know what I mean? Dan Campbell. These guys don't get into trouble. You know what I mean? J-Mo a little bit. He's still young, but
he's young and dumb.
Yeah,
but he'll get it. I think Campbell's going to whip his ass into shape.
And you could see how excited Zadarius Smith was to be on this team. Yeah. He's giddy.
Oh, yeah. What did you say the other week? You texted the group. Somebody needs to move in with J-Mo, or have J-Mo move in with them and keep an eye on him 24/7.
Yeah, seriously. Just until we get this Super Bowl ring, man. Shit. Yeah.
That's it. You live with me now.
Yeah. Because, damn, he's a good player, man. He's a good player, and it's nice having him, like, in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Because him and St. Brown together, like, they're the perfect complement. Like, St. Brown, he's going to get that dirty work. You know what I mean? He's going to get those tough third downs. He's going to make those tough catches. He's going to get the extra yards. He's going to block. And then J-Mo is, you give him some open field, he is gone. Like, and it's amazing.
Speed.
It's amazing when you think about the roster, and especially on offense, the speed we have on this. Like, that gets overlooked. We have a shit ton of speed on this team.
So I just want to bring this up because Gibbs is. So Brian Branch is my Lion, right? I think everybody has known that, Brian, but that's defense.
He's turning into like an all-pro level safety.
On offense, I've always liked Gibbs, but man, he is quickly becoming so many. So there's just a couple of things I want to throw out. Last week they were talking about it. Out of the hole, he's 11 miles per hour. That's 2 miles per hour faster than the average running back in the league. Okay, just
saw
think
that
about
stat,
Think
yeah.
about standing here and then just taking off, and you're at 11 miles per hour. Then during that run that he had, that like 60-yard run where he almost was gone, but he got tripped up last weekend.
Yeah.
24.2 miles per hour he was running down the field. We were joking at John's house that's a residential speed limit.
Yeah,
Could you
right.
imagine driving down your subdivision and Gibbs is just right next to you?
He's almost breaking the law. The thing is with him too, like he doesn't look like I'm not saying he's not fast. It doesn't look like there's a lot of effort there. Like it's just so fluid and so like
smooth.
Yeah, because I remember Javid Best. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
He was super fast, but you could tell he was working because every motion of his body was. Ugh. But like Gibbs is like super smooth.
Yeah,
and he's got great vision. He can also break tackles. That's another thing.
And he's
overlooked.
quick,
so fast.
He has that Barry-esque.
Yes. Oh yeah.
To just quick sidestep.
Yep.
And it be gone again. It's not so he's going at 20 some miles per hour. Stop.
Yeah.
Shift gears.
Yep.
Shift direction, and then boom, right back to 20 miles per hour from there. I mean,
and he's protecting the football. He's averaging an astounding 6 yards per carry. That's like college.
Yeah.
Like college level. You know what I mean? 6 yards a carry. Like anything over 4 in the NFL, you're a pretty damn good running back. But it's 6.
And then him and Montgomery together are just.
Oh, they're perfect. It's just like the JMO and St. Brown.
Yeah.
But these guys are like super elite at what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the perfect complement to each other too.
And Campbell and Johnson are doing such a. And I don't know what the numbers are today, but going into that game last week, Montgomery and Gibbs both came in with 122 carries on the season. The fact that you can be going into week 11 and sharing the same amount of carries is wild to me.
Yep. And I think
Complete split of the running back position.
And it's they ideally, both of them, Montgomery maybe not, but they both very well could have 1,000 yards rushing this year. Gibbs is already at 800. He's
Rushing or all purpose?
Just rushing.
Oh my, yeah. Oh, he's gonna get that.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is get like 20 yards the rest of the
Yeah, right.
each game.
No, we're very as far as like strength in running back, like Montgomery, I don't know if there's a stronger running back in the league. Because you hit him high, I laugh so many times when I see guys try and tackle him high. And I think it's just because they're scared of him.
Yeah.
They try and hit him high, and he just literally like, all right, dude, I'm gonna put you down. Like I'm running through.
When Demo gets hit, just assume 3 more yards he's gonna get.
Yeah.
Every time.
They're dragging
he's
out
hit
his
at the line
jersey.
of scrimmage. Don't worry, he's gonna end up with 3 yards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I love him.
They're so much fun to watch.
They are. Anytime Gibbs is in the backfield, I'm like that. You know that meme where it's a guy sitting next to the tree and he's got his licking his
peeking
lips?
around. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at his lips and he's rubbing his hands. That's how I feel every time he's in the backfield. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you for next week. Got the Colts this Sunday. What are you thinking?
Well, I always like to look at the. What do you mean as far as just like prediction?
Just prediction, not necessarily score. Just I mean, yeah, win, loss. How do you think it's gonna be another ass whooping? You think it's gonna be a closer game?
No, I think the game's gonna be a little closer. I know the Colts had a good week last week. They inserted Richardson back into the lineup, and I think he had a good game.
And he can run.
Yeah, that's another thing, another element. But I still look for the Lions to win by. And I think the spread was a 7.5. I think the Lions win by 10. 10, 14 points.
I mean, I think it's a win. I don't think it's going to be a beat down like on Jacksonville, but yeah, I think it's a win. I think the Lions will stay up the whole game. I think they'll always be ahead 2 possessions.
Yeah, they'll never.
That's my prediction. Yeah. I don't know what the score will be, but I always think they'll always be up 2 possessions.
Yeah.
Colts will score, will turn around and score.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's just going to kind of go back and forth like that.
It'll be fun to see how with a mobile quarterback like that, how the Lions respond. Now we have Za'Darius, Jack Campbell leading the way because Jack Campbell and Malcolm Rodriguez will have a massive role, kind of keeping an eye on Richardson.
Yeah.
Luckily, Richardson's passing ability is not good. I think he's had like a 50-something completion percentage this year, so you can keep a spy on him. And not maybe let him get a few yards here and there with his feet, but he ain't gonna beat you with his arms.
You know who's that meme right now sitting behind the tree? Is Branch and Kirby Joseph.
Kirby Joseph.
Throw me that ball.
Yeah,
They're waiting for it.
Here we go.
Oh, we're gonna pick you off. Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, now you got me second guessing. Maybe it's gonna be more of a whooping.
I know. Now that we get talking about, I just think the Colts are a lot better of a team than the Jaguars are.
Yeah, the Colts aren't quitting.
I think they're also a better team than the Titans are.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna be an absolute. I don't want to say an easy win, but it's gonna be a win.
Do you want to give a score prediction? What do you think?
Let's see. I mean, I'm gonna go like 31-17.
Okay. I think I'm pretty close to that too. I'm gonna say 34-20.
Although, we said this last week, and I think I said last week we were going to win 31-10, and you're like, are these scores for the halftime?
Yeah, seriously, because what was it at half last week? Was it 28-6 or something?
28-3?
28-3?
No, yeah, 28-6. Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't score in the second half. Yeah, that was awesome.
All right. Power 5?
Yeah, let's do our power rankings.
Fives?
Yeah, I'm excited.
We haven't done this yet, have we? Or did we do it once?
I think we did it once.
The Mike's Power 5.
Bob. I don't have my soundboard. My trusty soundboard. Probably better. I jack it up every time I try using it anyway.
Oops, I didn't mean to hit that button.
Hit the toilet flush when I want to hit the police siren or the whatever. We run a high-end operation over here.
Oh, yes, yeah. It's
we're going to fire our sound engineer.
This will be our last episode.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's hear it. How do you want to do this? Do you want to do
I'm going to do my 5 first.
That sounds great.
And
Start at 5 and then work your way up. Yep, that sounds great.
So, coming in at number 5
Okay.
for this week for week 11,
Okay.
I have the Eagles.
Okay. Wow.
All
right.
I think the Eagles are playing well. I think I think they're honestly the biggest threat to the Lions right now in the NFC.
Okay.
Coming in at 4, I have the Steelers. I see that smile. It sounds like something's going to be very similar.
And we did not run these by each other.
No,
we were
this is a total surprise right now.
So I'm going to put that out there first.
No, Steelers look good. Tomlin, a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know, Tomlin has never had a losing record in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're
I
just
don't know
the
how many
model
years
of-
he's been there,
yeah.
but he's never had. And that, to me, could you imagine being a Steelers fan? Every year, you have a chance at the playoffs because you're not going to have a losing record.
I love Tomlin. I love him.
He's a great coach.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, I got the Bills.
Okay.
Got the Bills coming in.
Okay.
I think, especially after that win last week, I think Josh Allen's playing a hell of a season.
Yep.
Number 2, I have the Chiefs.
Okay.
I was kind of going back and forth between the Bills over the Chiefs. I gave the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt, just kind of being, who they are. I left them at 2.
Okay.
And I bet you nobody can guess who number 1 is. But
Hold on. Let me. The New York Jets, because you love Aaron Rodgers.
oh yes, Aaron Rodgers is like my Javi Baez of football. No, number 1, our Detroit Lions.
Detroit football.
We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
Right. It's just amazing. They deserve to be number 1.
Yep.
Beating teams up and down. So they're deservingly so are number 1.
Okay. I like
All
it.
right. Let's hear yours.
All right, at 5, I also have the Eagles, and I flip-flopped. I actually had the Ravens here first, but then after what has happened with the Ravens last week, and then the Ravens have had some ugly losses, so I put the Eagles here. They're 8-2. They're playing good. They've looked impressive at times. They had a big win last week against Washington.
So I will say if Washington would have won that game, I probably would have had Washington at number 5.
Yeah, I would have squeezed
Washington's
them in here
my
too.
number 6 right now.
Yeah, Washington's a fun team. I've been impressed with them, but the Eagles. The thing is, the Eagles do have a tough stretch coming up, so I don't see them really being a threat to overtake the Lions. So they're, if they maintain the 2 seed and run through the playoffs, which I don't even know if they do, because it seems like the Eagles, especially last year, and I don't know if it was the year before. I don't remember. Whatever. They kind of seem to just stumble sometimes on the stretch.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Number 4, Steelers. Impressive win over last week against the Ravens. Their defense is lights out. They just play consistent. The only thing, their offense, can that win you a game? Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, You know what I mean?
That's why these are week by week power rankings.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
but
'cause
they're
it's
8-2.
change.
Yeah, they're 8-2. You got to give them credit. They've had some
Exactly.
big wins and they're consistent. So, all right, this is where we defer. I have the Chiefs at 3, and they obviously were just handed their first loss. They have elite defense, elite quarterback. And if they were able to land the number 1 seed AFC, I think they have a clear run probably to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The only thing is I was looking at their schedule. They have 7 games left compared to the Bills who have I think the Bills have
8?
5 left. 1,
6?
2, yeah, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, they have 5 left. The Chiefs have 6. And the
Okay.
Chiefs, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. There's 11. Okay, so the Bills have 6 and the Chiefs have 7. Okay, anyways, the Chiefs' schedule is more difficult than the Bills, and the Bills have that one, have the win over them,
You're
right?
right. Yeah.
So I think the Chiefs are going to have the number 2 seed.
Okay.
That puts me number 2 in my power rankings. The Bills, they just went and beat the Chiefs. I think
win.
they have an easier time. They have they played New England twice. They play the Jets. They do got to come here. I think they got to play the Niners too, but I think they'll beat the Niners, and they also play the Rams. So I think they're going to finish 5-1, take the number 1 seed, and it'll go through them.
Yeah.
Just see, you can't count Mahomes out. Even if Mahomes has got to go to Buffalo and play, he can still beat them. But yeah, and anyways, I got number 1 Detroit Lions. I think it's them and everybody else.
I think so. So you mentioned Philly. I said I think they're our biggest threat to us. I have as of now. If it's not Philly, and I'm just talking NFC, because I have the Bills as the biggest threat to us, but
Yeah.
we're talking that they're the big. That's because it's going to be a Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, forget the regular season game against the Bills. Even if they come in and win or we win, that's not stopping us from our playoff run.
Yeah.
Right. So, and if it's
who's
not
next?
Philly, who is it? Who's the biggest threat to us? Minnesota, Washington.
Yeah, I guess. I just
Oh,
don't.
it's probably the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? Oh man, man, I'm glad I am not a fan of that team. You know what? There's really nobody else that scares me. Just for this fact that like you're gonna have to come to Detroit and play us. I mean, if in a dome, I could see the Packers. Because the Packers did demolish us last Thanksgiving on our own turf. And the Packers kind of have a team where they like to throw the ball. And I think in a shootout, they could be dangerous. And they have a good defense. So I guess I would probably say the Packers.
Okay.
Washington scares me too, but, a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? I don't
you
know.
never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, right. In
And
a
they could
hostile
continue
environment.
they may not lose a game the rest of the season. They may lose the next 4 out of 5 games.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but like a Philly, Detroit, a Detroit Packers NFC title game, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
That's this week's Power 5 rankings.
Doot.
All right, let's go stud and dud time.
Stud and dud.
Stud and dud. Yes. All right.
You want to start us off?
Yeah. So my stud, stepping away from football a little bit here.
Yep.
Last night was some of the MLB awards, and I'm giving my stud to our own Detroit Tiger pitcher, Tarek Skubal, for winning the Cy Young Award. Way to go, Scoop! You're a stud.
Yeah, he definitely deserves it.
Well deserving of this of the stud of the week right now.
Yep.
Unanimously won, got all 30 votes. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. You watched him pitch this season; he's tremendous.
And even in the postseason, he had the first. How many games did he pitch in the postseason? 3 total.
3, yeah.
The first 2 lights out, and then the third game too. Like he just had one bad inning. You couldn't really broken it down to like a couple bad pitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, moving forward, we're in good hands with him. That's a good one.
All right, who do you got, stud?
Stud. I'm gonna go Sheila Ford Hamp. Finally, a Ford that knows how to run a football team. She stepped aside. She's like, you know what? I'm going to hire smart people to make smart decisions, and it's really paid off for her.
Sheila, you're a stud.
Yep. She's studette, whatever you want to.
Studette.
She was the she spearhorned this whole decision to bring in Spielman and those guys and let them kind of make the decisions on hiring this coaching staff. And
she's doing a great job. She's doing a phenomenal job.
You know what? Give her credit. She knows she's not the smartest person in the room. She's going to hire the smartest people in the room, and it's worked out for her. So
it's good to see.
For sure.
All right, dud. My dud. This was between a couple.
Yep.
But I think with what's going on in our city, with the Lions making a move for a Super Bowl run, the Tigers obviously making the playoffs. A lot of people probably won't like this, but I'm going Red Wings are my dud of the week.
They're deserving.
6 years into the rebuild of the Yzer plan.
Yep.
Lalonde does not seem to be the coach that we need. Blashill was not the coach that we need. When do you start turning your head to Yzerman as if this is your fault? I don't expect them to have won a Stanley Cup at this point, but I do think that you should have been in the playoffs by this point. And also coming into the season, year 6, if you look up, and I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know if you look it up, almost all the categories, they are either at the bottom or within the top 3 of the bottom. Shots on goal, winning percentage, points. I mean, they're just not good. And 6 years in, that's not where you should be in a rebuild. So,
right.
Red Wings are my duds.
You know what? As far as the Red Wings go, like I don't know anything really much about hockey, but I try and I'll ask people because I'm curious. We're curious. You know what I mean? Like, where do you guys see the issues with this team? And it seems like it comes down to scheme or coaching being the biggest problem. So if Yzerman is going to be allowed to kind of continue to run this, then he's going to have to make a tough decision to fire the guy he hired. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem to be. The Bruins just fired their head coach, and he's had some great seasons. You know what I mean? So it's okay. Somebody's out there. Maybe give him a call.
The other thing you got to look at, too, is so Yzerman came in, he had Blashill, fired Blashill. Lalonde, I mean, if they keep playing this way, I bet you by Christmas he's gone.
Yeah, right? I think he's having a very
short
leash.
Okay, so you bring in another guy. Can Yzerman have a third coach that doesn't pan out? And when does Yzerman get looked at? Bro, you brought in 3 coaches that can't do anything. Maybe they're not the problem.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have to get graded on the hires you make, and if you make bad hires, that's all what it comes down to. If you make bad hires, then that's on you.
Listen, Yzerman was one of the greatest players that we ever had as a Red Wing. I'm not taking any of that away, but we have to separate the player from the GM.
Yeah.
You have to separate the two. I love Yzerman as a player, right?
And I think people also need to separate from what he did in Tampa Bay a little bit, too. He
also walked into a really good situation in Tampa Bay. Stamkos was already there. Hedman was already there. Right, he didn't have to go draft all these guys. That team was handed to him. Not saying what he did wasn't great by getting him a Stanley Cup, but I wouldn't give him 100% of that Stanley Cup victory on his own building the team.
Well, and they won after he left too, right?
Yeah,
isn't that what? Yeah. So,
no,
I feel you.
All right, who's your dud?
My dud is going to be college football, and no, it has nothing to do with Michigan sucking. Okay, so everybody just suck it. But
I'm taking my ball and going home.
That's it. Taking my national championship pennant. Getting out of here.
You guys are mean.
You guys are so mean. I'm just college football this year just does not make any sense. They got the realignment. You got Cal and Stanford playing in the Atlantic Coast Conference, for God's sakes. As of right now, the projected Boise State would get a first-round bye. Lane Kiffin mentioned something, and who knows? That guy's kind of a snake anyway, but he said that there are coaches trying to avoid playing in their conference championship game so they don't get bounced out of
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just the bowl games don't even matter even less now. They didn't even matter before anyway, but it's just it doesn't seem to make any sense right now. Just the way they align, you got you lost the Pac-12, okay? And then you spread all those teams out, so now you have your Power 4 conferences, and they have anywhere from 16 to 18 teams, no divisions. They're all just kind of lumped together. I don't like the way it's headed. The NIL stuff, it's just it just seems chaotic right now. It doesn't. I think that the play on the field is showing it. The development of quarterbacks isn't there. It just doesn't look organized to me. And luckily, I do have a solution.
I was just going to ask you, do you know how to fix it?
Yeah.
Well, this is great. I'm glad that you went second on the stud and dud because that just takes us right into our next segment of college football. So how do we fix it?
Okay, so you know what they should have done? Okay, if they're going to realign all these conferences and stuff like that, I get it. The TV contracts and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you have your four Power 4 conferences, okay? You have the SEC, ACC, Big 10, and Big 12, okay? I know some would argue the Big 12 shouldn't even be in the discussion, but they are,
yeah.
Okay? So, and those conferences have between 16 to 18 teams, no divisions. So, for their conference championships right now, it's just the first seed play the second seed, and those are broken down to, like, if there's a tie, it can get as deep as, like winning percentages and just weird tiebreakers and stuff like that. So what you do is you break each conference into 3 divisions, okay? Each division winner plays in a conference tournament championship, okay? But the first seed, whoever has the best record in your conference, gets the number 1 seed. They get the bye, so they're going to immediately play in the conference championship game. The 2 and 3 seed for each conference will play for the playing game to be in the championship. Now, if you make your conference championship game, then you get an automatic bid into the college football playoff, right? So that gives you your 8 teams right there. Okay, they earned it.
Yeah.
There's no discussion. No, you earned it.
Whether or not they lose in their conference championship.
Yes, you get it, but the conference championship winner would get a first round bye in the playoff.
Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So, and then you would have, okay, now if you want to stick to the 8 or the 12 team format, which I guess I'm okay with. I think it's still a lot of teams. Okay, then you do like you have 4 at large. So you give the group of 5, which is like your Mountain West Conference, your MAC, Conference USA, those conferences a chance. Like your highest maybe ranked teams maybe have it, but the minimums you have to be ranked in the top 12. Okay, Notre Dame, if they're inside the top 12, they would get a bid in, but they're not going to be able to get a first round bye because they don't play in the conference.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I am thinking. You got to make it to where it's just you're taking out where the committee is just like, well, I think this win is better than this win, and well, that's Michigan. They need to be in. You know what I mean? Like takes that naming out of it. Just they need to play to get into something.
And if you go and you have a whole season where you're the top team and you go and you play your conference championship and you lose, now the team in third place automatically gets to go in where they thought their season was over with.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't agree with the conference championships losses counting against you going to the playoffs. I don't think it's fair. I don't think because then so you get to play this extra game, but now the team at home,
right,
that was a third in the conference, obviously is not going to the conference championship. All of a sudden we're not going. All of a sudden, boom, number 1 loses, and guess who? Now you're in.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, but
it
I liked it. That's a good idea. Let's
it's something to kind of
call them up. Call up the NC2A.
Hey,
let's go.
If they need to hire me, I'll send them my resume. Won't be very detailed, but whatever.
No, that was good.
All right. What do you want to do next? Do you want to get into?
We got.
You want to get into some Tigers? You want to do some? What do you think?
What else do we got? We got Tigers and.
I wanted to get into a little bit Michigan stuff, but we can save that for last. I don't have a whole lot there.
We're already on college football.
You want to get into that now?
You might as well go into Michigan. You're a college pro here on the show.
All right. All right. I want to ask you something, and I didn't tell you this before the show, but I just want to get your opinion, okay? This is Michigan related, everybody, okay? I'm a diehard Michigan fan, as everybody knows. But anyways, let me ask you something, okay? This team, right? They won the national championship last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
But after this year, they have to replace their coach, okay? And the team goes 6-6, blown out by Texas, Oregon, Ohio State. Also losses to Illinois, Washington, Indiana. With that said, would you fire this coach?
No.
Okay.
Now, here's my reasoning for no.
Okay.
One, I do think you got to give coaches a chance.
Okay.
Okay. I don't care if he was behind Harbaugh for a couple years. It's his first full-time coach. The other thing, the biggest thing, is that Michigan, and I could be off by 1 or 2, Did they not lose 31 players from last year's team, with I think 13 of them going to the NFL?
Something like that, yeah.
And I think the others graduating, moving on, whatever it may be. To me, that's a huge. How do you handle? Here's the national championship team. We're gonna give you the head coaching job, but 30 of those players that were on that national championship game or team are gone.
Yeah, right.
Half of them going to the NFL, which means you had a hell of a team. With the other ones, maybe just graduating, maybe going on, maybe hit the transfer portal, whatever it may be for the others. But even the 13 of your players leave, forget the other, just talk about the 13 leaving for the NFL. That's a huge chunk of your team to leave. That is why I say no. Now, next year, you come out, you go have bad recruiting, you go out, you go 6-6 or 7-5 next year.
Yeah.
Now you're on the hot seat.
Okay. All right.
That's my opinion.
Fair enough.
Right?
Okay. All right.
What, do you think he should be fired?
You know, I've been torn whether just because I haven't watched a ton of Michigan football, not like I did last year. I watched pretty much every snap, but I've watched enough. And the one thing this year is, you know, granted, Sharon had to replace, you know, when Harbaugh left, Harbaugh kind of gutted the staff, especially the defensive staff.
And Harbaugh left late, which didn't give Sharon time to recruit.
Exactly.
So that goes, again, with my argument. No, I give him one more year.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm torn just because of, like, when I'm watching on the field, like, the coaching is just not there. And he had to promote a lot of guys, like, within the program, whether it was, like, the quarterback coach to the offensive coordinator. The tight ends coach is now the O-line coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was just a lot of that, and then having to, like, pick guys from random programs to insert. And then they took Wink Martindale, who has not had a lot of success the last few years as a defensive coordinator. The defense is shitty in my opinion there, and the offense is awful. Michigan is 17th in the Big Ten in total offense and 11th in total defense this year. And the defense has a lot of talent on it. There's 3 first-round picks on the team as a whole, and on the defensive side, there might be 3 first-rounders on the defense alone too.
Yeah.
So it's just, and another thing that kind of really upset me with all this is, did you hear about, like, Michigan going all in with the NIL?
Yeah.
With that Bryce Underwood
$12
kid?
million or something like that.
So, like, to me, that just screams like when Rich Rodriguez took over Michigan in 2008. They tried to go all in on Terrell Pryor. Well, Terrell Pryor ended up choosing Ohio State, and Michigan just never ever, found a quarterback. Like, they put all their eggs in one basket for him. Didn't pan out, and Michigan did not look good and all that. And then it's just kind of like the same thing with Bryce Underwood. And then Michigan had another recruit. And this all started from Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, saying that he would pitch in however much to get this kid to come here. Well, he still didn't end up wanting to come here. And in the process, Michigan actually lost one of their top quarterback recruits coming in this year. He says, "Oh, you guys are going all in on him? Well, screw you guys. I'm leaving."
Well, yeah,
I'm going to
want to play. I'm going to go to a team that I can play for.
Why would I want to do this? You're going to go after him now? It looks really bad on my part. I don't like where this is headed. So that's kind of what has pulled me. Like, all the points that you just said, give him another chance. I totally agree. This is starting to look ugly to me. Yeah. I don't like it. And
my comments are surface level comments.
That's why I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to get I wanted to get an unbiased opinion from you.
Yeah.
Just so I could kind of level myself out a little bit.
I didn't know about the whole losing their top recruit because they wanted to go after Bryce and was it Underwood?
Yeah.
Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Who wants? Yeah, I don't blame the other guy for.
I don't blame him
leaving.
either. And from all I read, like his name is Carter Smith, and I think he was a 2025 recruit coming in this coming year. He was highly regarded.
Yeah.
And
I'd go somewhere else too.
I don't blame him. Yeah, somebody will pick him up. So I just wanted to kind of vent on that a little bit because I'm not liking where this is headed. And if you don't get this right, like, I think Sharon at the minimum has to kind of overhaul his staff this year now that he has a full off season. Yeah. He's not going to be in the playoff. They're going to be in an early bowl game. He's got time to really go under the hood and figure this out because I think he's going to have to. If not, it's going to get ugly. And then Michigan's going to be back to where they were after Lloyd Carr, where they, it took them however long to finally get it together. So I just don't want to see that. So anyways.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. But, yeah, See what happens next year, because this year's pretty much it's over anyway.
It is,
right?
yeah. I mean, they're 5-5. They're gonna lose Ohio State by 1 million and whatever.
by 1 million.
Yeah.
1 million. All right,
let's
let's talk about Tigers real quick before we get out of here.
Yes.
So I mentioned it. My stud, Cy Young, Skubal.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
We're moving into the off season. I think winter meetings start in a week or two.
That's crazy.
So, not going to go over what happened in the season. We already know that, but we're looking forward to next year.
Yep.
Talking about the offseason.
We finally have hope,
yeah.
which is good.
I do want to mention, I think Hinch was screwed out of Manager of the Year.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
No, nothing wrong with Steve Vaught in Cleveland. Hats off to you for getting it. But I think Hinch deserved to have that. But
yeah, especially with the roster.
So getting it. So winter meetings coming up. We heard Scott Harris, some of the comments that he said. What do you like, dislike so far moving in? Obviously, nothing's happened. But what are you thinking?
He said a lot without really
saying a lot.
Saying a lot, I guess. I mean, I really don't know what to make of it. I mean, he said kind of the obvious. I need to add some pitching and a right-handed bat. That's pretty obvious. But, what do you mean by that? Okay, is it an outfielder? Are we going to be adding an infielder? I don't see them adding an infielder, to take over unless it's somebody, that's just going to serve as a platooning role. Or
I think we need a third baseman.
But the thing is, I don't see them pushing Jace Young out. I just don't see them because they don't. Yeah. They don't have the track record of doing that. They want to let these guys play. So I don't see them doing that. Even though I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's probably going to be an outfielder and a starter or two. And then we'll see from there. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
I'm really nervous. From what he said, first of all, I gotta get out of my system. The fact that he said that this guy has a spot on the team. You all know who I'm talking about. Can't take it anymore.
Kenta Maeda?
I'm out. I'm going home.
Yeah. You must mean Torkelson.
This guy, Baez. Oh, he has it. Buy him out.
Yeah.
Just that fact. Hopefully, he's just throwing up a smoke screen. Okay, please.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think they are. I think they're going to run him, dude, and I think they are really banking on this.
The only way that Baez can make up for anything, he needs to bat 330. I need 40 home runs. I need 30 stolen. Okay, my bar, I'm setting it so high because right now it's below the dirt for what he is.
Mike, he's only got to hit 500 this year to bring his Tigers average up to 250. I mean, it's doable.
just to get above 200. I mean, so that right off the bat got me thinking. Scott Harris, what do you mean he has a spot on this team?
Yeah.
The other thing that disappointed me is he doesn't want to. Not that he doesn't want to spend money, but he doesn't want to go give long contracts. No more than 3-4 years, which means you're picking up injured players, old players, guys that are trying to rejuvenate their career, which. Not mad about it.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're not willing to go get a Bregman, a Christian Walker, a Pete Alonso, even Jack Flaherty, right? Teoscar Hernandez, these are all guys that would help us.
Right, I know.
Right?
I know.
Now, I understand some of the argument on Bregman. I know he's going to be asking for a long deal. Okay.
He's getting up there in age, too.
He's 31.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I think he should only get a 4-year contract.
Yeah.
That puts him at 35 by the time he's done. Give him a 5-year with an option at the end.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not set on Bregman. That's an example. Same thing with Christian Walker, Pete Alonso. These guys are up there. They're good. We need a first baseman too, because don't think Torque is going to be the answer, or at least a DH.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, Carey can kind of take that next step and start hitting lefties. You know what I mean? Where he can use them a little bit more. But yeah, no, I know what you're. The thing is, this past regime, Al Avila, he had the reason why he did not succeed, in my opinion, is because he signed some really shitty free agents. And we're dealing with one right now in Baez. So I don't know if the Tigers have Baez PTSD. And that's why they're not looking to add anybody right now. This is what I'm hoping. That they are they're banking on. You still have Max Clark, highly regarded. He's an outfielder. He's coming up. He should be here in maybe a year or two. And Kevin McConicle, I don't know say his name.
Yeah.
They're very like sharp hitting, stellar defense guys. Like they're really high on these two guys. So I'm wondering if they're waiting for like that's what they mean by the core, like everybody being here.
I mean, to me,
And
sure,
then maybe they'll
those guys-
spend.
and sure, I agree. I would love for those guys to come out. I think the core is here right now with what we saw last year.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
an 86 win team and won a playoff series, almost
Right.
won 2.
But I think if you can add another bat, I think to me, my perfect scenario would be a third baseman or first baseman, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
Big name, whether it's Bregman, Alonso, Christian Walker. You don't need all of them. You get a corner, one corner. I don't care which side of the field you get it for.
Yeah.
Get a corner
Yeah,
and an outfielder.
yeah.
And two pitchers, right? Like I'm all in. Go get Flaherty. Bring him back here.
Yeah. Heck yeah, why not?
Bring him back here,
Yeah.
right? Scooble needs some help.
They need
Scooble
somebody.
and Olsen, they need help.
Yeah.
Okay, we need some more starters. I
Yep.
think our rotation in the bullpen is decent.
Yeah, we
Right?
got
I mean,
some
it
depth.
wouldn't hurt to pick up somebody there, but I don't think you have to go spend a lot of money on somebody in the bullpen. But get these starters some help. I don't. We talked about this before. The pitching chaos. Yeah, it was fun. I don't like it. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
The pitching
Oh,
chaos.
no,
I don't want that to be our team again.
it was their greatest like asset for a while, but then that candle burnt out in the Cleveland series.
And for a whole year,
Yeah.
there's no way that's gonna work.
No,
there's
you're
no way
right.
it's gonna
Yeah,
work.
absolutely. That's a good point.
I don't want pitching chaos anymore. Let's be done. So let's go get.
Yeah, they need some depth. Do you think Job is a starter? Is he the 5th guy next year, you think? He didn't really show us enough. We didn't really see a lot of him.
Yeah, and what he showed, what we did see, no, but I mean, he's probably playing in the fall league right now. We'll see spring training come up. Maybe next year he starts in the pen, works his way out to us. Maybe he starts every 12th game, but he's in the pen in between then. Something like that, right? Kind of somewhat what they were doing with Matt Manning, but he's up with the team.
Yeah.
So
I think I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think he's gonna be their 5th guy, and I think he's gonna go every 5th or 6th day, and I think they're just gonna take the training wheels off and let him go and see what happens. Last year they had with the Skeens kind of come up. I don't know if they're gonna follow that model, but I kind of hope they will. Just let him go, just to see what happens.
I mean,
if
I wouldn't be mad at it if they did.
If he gets his ass kicked, you know what I mean? Because Scherzer had to go back down. Okay, then send him back down, let him work on his mechanics, but then bring him back up, like they did with Meadows and those guys. You know what I mean? But just enough. Just let him go.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's see it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Scott Harris, do something. All right, do something. Don't go get some bum that had a broken leg for the last 2 years and you're bringing him back, right? Let's go get at least one solid player. I just don't want to be disappointed because I do feel if we come into this next season with the same team that we have right now with very minimal moves, it's not a World Series team. We might go to the playoffs again, but that's not it. We clearly saw we need some more bats.
Yeah, for sure. And you can't bank on that magic happening again.
And starting pitching.
Yeah.
Scooble can't pitch every day.
No, right.
This isn't 1970s.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, they definitely have to add, and I did not like you know what I mean, that they weren't going to add any long-term deals. They were going to be looking at 1-year contracts, like prove-it contracts. Okay, that's just AKA trade bait. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sick of that.
For having the end of the season that we had and building the expectations for next season, you really put just like a cramp in this offseason of like, oh man, we made the playoffs, we went to the ALCS, is awesome.
Yeah.
Next year expectations are high, and then you come out and be like, well, we're not going to really do anything. Like, well, you clearly saw we need more, but we'll see what happens. So not going to get too upset about it now because we still got the winter meetings coming up, and hopefully something good comes out of that. Last thing I wanted to mention, did you see the upgrades to Comerica? We'll never sit there because we can't afford it. But they're doing what some of the other stadiums are below the ground. They're putting in seats that are eye level with the field.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Wow.
You have to look it up. Yeah.
Well, they're spending money in other places. What the?
Yeah, I know. We'll never sit in these seats because they're going to be like this VIP. But you know how Cleveland has it?
Yeah.
Behind home plate, like the people are eye level with the field. Tigers are doing that around home plate.
Well, do you got bar service and stuff like that, or like wait?
Oh yeah, it's like it's a whole it's a
okay.
whole thing. So again, you and I will never be able to afford to sit there, but still, it's cool. I always thought those were sweet.
Well, maybe they want to sponsor us one time, Mike's on the Mics, and have us come down to the ballpark. You hear that, Illich and Harris?
Illich, yeah.
Come on.
You hear it?
Yep.
Mike's on the Mics. We want to come do a podcast from those new VIP seats,
Yes.
premium seating, whatever you guys are calling them.
Will be a lot of fun.
We won't let you down.
Yep. Nope.
And forget everything I said about Baez and Scott Harris and
we love
all
you
the
guys.
negative thing. We love everybody.
We love you guys.
Invite us down.
Yep.
That was good. All right, I think that wraps it up, right?
I think we covered everything. That was a lot to talk about today, but I think we did a good job.
Yeah. So thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yep.
We love you guys.
Yep. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Mm-hmm. Tell your friends.
Are we on MySpace? Oh wait,
you can download us on LimeWire.
You can, and you can instant message us on AOL Instant Messenger.
Billabong Kid 69.
Or ICQ or whatever that other one was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody.
Yep,
we appreciate you.
Cheers.
Go Detroit.
Yep. Go sports.